Bonjour, I'm Chef Julien, and today we are not going to be cooking the oh la la gourmet food, but I'm going to demonstrate the perfect recipe for the chocolate lava, the famous chocolate cake with runny chocolate inside. And toward the end of this recipe, we're going to be using our IRINOX brass freezer and warmer to show that you can make it in advance and have it whenever you want. Stay tuned and let's start cooking. For that recipe, I'm going to use a 65% chocolate. I don't want to go too strong on the chocolate when we do this type of cake because it's warm, and I think a 65% chocolate percent is quite good enough. So we will have our chocolate and our butter, which we're going to melt in a bain-marie. Then I will have my preheated oven at 180 degrees. So here we have, with a bain-marie, so just a warm water, and I have my butter and my chocolate, which we're just going to melt. To make it easy, I always recommend that you keep your butter and your chocolate at least 1 hour before at room temperature. While my chocolate and butter is melting, we can prepare the other part of the mixture, which we have our eggs. Then we will add on to it the sugar, some baking powder, and then we just mix until we have a nice and homogenized texture. Now then we have our chocolate and our butter melted in a warm temperature. I'm going to pour it over the egg and sugar mixture. Here we go. Then I mix chocolate and egg. Then I add the flour. I gently mix it from the center and then slowly grab on the side the flour. So here we have the perfect texture. At this moment, you can add actually any flavor that you want. You can have a coffee, a brandy, a caramel. For me, what I like is always a bit of the flavor of the lavender. So I will add on some lavender to my chocolate mousse. Now that our mixture is ready, what we need is to prepare a small little cup. The cup to bake our chocolate mousse is just to brush a little bit of clarified butter, and then we add on a bit of flour and we make it nice and tight. That will make it easy after to unmold the chocolate. So now that our mixture is ready, and then we have our little mold. So now we just have to fill up. So you can use any shape. You can have a bit of a bigger one. The only thing you will need maybe to cook it a little bit more. Now then we fill up all our cup with the chocolate mixture inside. We just have to bake it. So this time, because what I want is just to pre-bake them and then blast freeze them so I can use them whenever I want. So what we're going to do, we're going to cook them at 180 degrees for only 6 minutes. And then we take them out of the oven and put them directly into our IRINOX blast freezer. But if you happen to bake them and want to eat them straight away, you will have to cook them about 8 minutes to 8.5 minutes. It will always depend a little bit of the size of your cup. So if you have the type of a ceramic ramekin, you will need to go maybe up to 12 minutes to have them to the perfect doneness. So let's start cooking now. Talking of chocolate, to make the choice, I really encourage you to go to the more pastry shop who have really this nice little chocolate. You have many different brands existing. I let you choose the one you prefer. But for the percentage, for me, I prefer take a 65% chocolate cacao. So it's not over strong, and you have a nice little aroma between the cream and the butter and the chocolate. All those flavors can mix properly. But this is your own choice. You can choose the percentage and we can see our chocolate are ready, and we can see some already start to crack a little bit on top. So at this point, as a pre-cooking is a perfect temperature. So I'm going to move them to the blast freezer to keep them for longer. Now to come back to our frozen chocolate cake. So we have freeze them at minus 30 degrees, so we can keep them in our freezer and use them whenever we want to enjoy it. Here we're going to reheat 3 little chocolate cake. So I will place it in a IRINOX oven under warm temperature at 65 degrees for about 30 minutes. So here we have in a warmer our little chocolate cake. So as I said, you can put them at 65 degrees, you can keep them at 30 minutes, eventually a little bit more. So let's hand mold and let's have a look. So here I just turn a bit around to make sure they are not sticky, and then I will just hand mold. This is the extra butter and the flour. I love to add a little bit of my premium extra virgin olive oil to that chocolate cake. A pinch of sea salt. And here we have our lavender lava cake. Let's look at it from inside, and you can see how fragile is it. And then we can see it still have a nice texture inside. I'm just going to enjoy it now. So good, so good. A very nice aroma of the lavender. This olive oil is sweet and flavorful, and that pinch of salt give a little bit of something, a little bit French touch, I will say. Enjoy, try to make it at home.